Where do you see this technology maybe evolving in the next 1 to 2 years? How good are these AI models, do you think, going to get? Is it going, because I've heard some people say, it's over 10 years. Mathematically, it just is not possible for these models to create something that we would listen to and go, like, I like that. We're 10 years away from it. I have other people telling me by the end of this year, music fully usable and user-friendly music models will be able to create basically anything you want with human voices at the touch of a few buttons and a couple of prompts. So what's your potential, your personal take on where this stuff is going to go, how quickly it's going to develop and evolve?
I think what's realistic right now is we'll see a bunch of tools that generate music. Like you'll still have a person, right, who's going to use all of these tools. But what we'll see is, a lot of maybe simple loops, or maybe even not so simple loops generated by those AI models. It really depends on how eager people will be to feed those models their songs, right? I think that's going to be sort of a deciding factor. Also, you have those searches, that can identify the music style. So I think what we'll see initially is a lot of different tools that speed production up, right? So it's going to be you, me, sitting and just saying, well, maybe instead of playing the guitar and practicing it for like 12 hours to record 8 bars, right? You would just say, well, I need this, and I need a guitar part with a couple of licks in it and something like this. But then the problem is going to be, you're going to listen to it and you have to decide whether or not it's good, right? And again, you need that emotional feedback that machine just doesn't have, right? Somebody needs to listen and say, well, this is good. So I think generators are definitely going to be able to do things by the end of this year, because I'll tell you that in 2019 I went to a presentation done by NVIDIA, and they're a big producer of all of these GPU cards, right? So even in 2019 they showed off a musical piece, like the whole orchestra playing and all of that, and it was beautiful, right? It's not just random notes sounding. So it was beautiful. So I think the technology is already here. It's just a matter of feeding it a lot of data, and then it's going to be able to do its thing. So I think the whole conversation about whether or not it's going to be here in a year or 10 is sort of irrelevant at this point. The technology is here. It's just a matter of training that system, right? Somebody needs to sit down, label all of the music, and feed it, right? And then they need to sort out all the legal issues around it. So the technology is here. Whether or not somebody is going to create a product of that, out of that, right? That's a different story, because it might be expensive. There might be some other issues, again, legal issues, that are preventing people from releasing it. But the models are here. All they need to do is to be trained. So a lot is possible, but I think what we'll see first is just increase in production speed. And if we can, as humans, can win that, we'll be okay. If not, then AI will overtake us. But the thing is, it's not going to be AI. It's just going to be a person who knows how to use AI.
And what a great way to wrap up this episode, because that's exactly why I've really switched my focus of my entire channel, why I started this podcast, why this is something that I just can't get out of my head. Is I agree with you. I think the technology is already here, and I'm going to check out that NVIDIA presentation. I was not aware of that, so thanks for sharing that. And it is just a matter of time before this technology is basically user-friendly enough, and it's something that basically can be mass deployed. I think that's why the ChatGPT thing took the world by storm, because AI and that kind of technology, large language models, have been here for a long time, but that was the first time that I was aware of that essentially made it user-friendly, made it basically dummy-proof. A first grader could type in something and it would help you, and it would respond, and it would basically understand your context, and it could remember what you just asked it. So just basically applying this very powerful technology into a user-friendly concept is essentially all that's kind of missing. And of course, our big, sort of hurdle here in the music industry is, like you said, those legal issues, and that's what we're really going to focus a lot on this channel, because that'll really inform where we go.